Have you ever imagined that your pet could one day see you as food? For many people, domestic animals are like family members, loyal, affectionate, and harmless. But what if these same animals decide that their owner could be the next meal? From lethal dogs to wild felines raised as pets, to treacherous reptiles and even furious monkeys, these cases prove that no matter how domesticated an animal may seem, its wild instinct never completely disappears. These are the animals you will discover today. Jay Brewer, founder of the Reptile Zoo in California and known for his YouTube channel Jay Prehistoric Pets, gained internet attention with a video in which he handles a reticulated python. In the video, Brewer attempts to remove the eggs of a reticulated python to place them in an incubator when the snake attacks and bites his face. He shared the incident on his channel and social media, mentioning that he takes risks to ensure the safety of the offspring. The snake took advantage of Jay's unprotected approach to strike at his face, leaving its mark there. Because it is a non-venomous snake, there is no risk to his health, but it is undoubtedly a painful bite.
Oh, man. Oh, I got it right in the face. I knew this was going to be the video. Blood and all.
This was not an isolated case. Brewer has faced similar situations in the past, including a bite to his arm from a 6-meter python while handling eggs. Although Brewer is popular for his interactive videos with reptiles, some animal experts and enthusiasts have expressed concerns about his methods, suggesting that certain practices may stress the animals and pose unnecessary risks. As a result, he faces some criticism. The hippopotamus named Humphrey was rescued and adopted by Marius Els when it was still a calf. Photos of Marius riding the animal, known for being highly aggressive and dangerous, went viral on the internet, attracting media attention that led to numerous interviews. Marius always talked about the great relationship he had with Humphrey, stating that the hippo even allowed him to brush its teeth, treating it like a son. However, on a certain day, the hippopotamus acted unpredictably and savagely, attacking Marius with multiple bites and dragging him to the river near his house. Unfortunately, Marius did not survive the attack, which marked a tragic end to the relationship between man and animal. The motivations for the hippo's attack are unclear, but these animals are responsible for the highest number of human fatalities worldwide due to their territorial and aggressive nature. They attack anyone who approaches or threatens their space, using their enormous strength and a very powerful bite to overpower their victims. Reports indicate that shortly before attacking Marius, Humphrey had already displayed aggressive and strange behaviors. He is said to have chased 2 canoers who were navigating a river near Marius's farm, as well as attempted to escape the property, attacking golfers on a neighboring course. Even so, Marius was able to calm him down with food. Unfortunately, the hippo's last victim ended up being his own owner. DC Tuu, an Indonesian scientist who was 44 years old, was fatally attacked by a pet crocodile named Mary in January of 2019 on the island of Sulawesi. Daisy, who was the head of a laboratory at a pearl farm, was feeding the 4 4/10 meter, 700-kilogram crocodile when the incident occurred. Some reports suggest she was pulled into the animal's enclosure, while others believe she may have fallen. Her colleagues found her body the following morning. Authorities stated that the crocodile was being kept illegally at the farm and was later transferred to a conservation center while its owner was being sought. In December of 2016, in Tampa, Florida, Brenda Guerrero, 52 years old, tried to dress her mixed-breed pit bull, named Scarface, in a Christmas sweater, which turned out to be a bad idea. The dog reacted aggressively, biting her arm. Her husband, Ismael Guerrero, 46 years old, intervened to help her but was also attacked. The couple's son, Antoine Harris, 22 years old, tried to restrain the animal and even stabbed it in the head and neck, but he too was bitten. All 3 managed to find refuge inside the house, leaving the dog in the yard. When authorities arrived, Scarface proved extremely aggressive. Even after being hit with a stun gun and a rubber bullet gun, the dog managed to get back into the house, where 2 children were present, though they were not harmed. Eventually, the animal was captured by animal control officers using a capture pole.
A terrifying sight, a pit bull covered in his own blood and probably the blood of his owner, Brenda Guerrero. She was attacked late this afternoon outside.
Brenda Guerrero underwent surgery due to her injuries, which, while serious, were not fatal. Scarface was later euthanized because of the severity of the injuries it had sustained during the incident and the risk it posed to public safety. Alexandra Black, a 22-year-old intern at the Conservators Center in Burlington, North Carolina, was fatally attacked by a lion in 2018. During a routine cleaning supervised by a professional keeper, the lion escaped from a locked area and attacked Alexandra. Attempts to tranquilize the animal failed, leading officers to shoot the lion in order to recover the victim's body. Alexandra had recently graduated from Indiana University with a degree in animal behavior and had been at the center for about 2 weeks. Her family highlighted that she was passionate about animals and was just starting her career in the field. Sadly, it was all cut short in a tragic way. The Conservators Center, founded in 1999, is home to more than 80 animals of 21 different species, including 15 lions. After the incident, the center was temporarily closed for safety evaluations. Sandra Pyovison, a 50-year-old woman living in Salem Township, Pennsylvania, was fatally attacked by her wolf-dog hybrids in July of 2006. She kept 9 of these animals in an electric fenced enclosure on her property. On July 17th of 2006, Pyovison's body was found inside the enclosure with severe injuries. The autopsy confirmed she was alive at the time of the attack and died from blood loss. 2 years before the fatal incident, a friend of Pyovison had been attacked by one of the hybrids but did not file a formal complaint. Local authorities and animal experts had expressed concerns about the dangers of keeping wolf hybrids as pets, and emphasizing that, unlike wild wolves that fear humans, these hybrids may be more prone to attack. After the incident, the 8 hybrids that were in the enclosure were euthanized to allow for the safe retrieval of Pyovison's body. A 9th hybrid, which lived inside the house along with 2 Rottweilers, was taken to an animal shelter. A Canadian who kept exotic felines on his property was attacked by one of his animals, a tiger. Norman Buwalda, a collector of wild animals, was found already lifeless in the tiger's cage on his property. He had entered the animal's enclosure to feed it, as usual, but this time the large feline reacted badly for some unknown reason and decided to attack Norman, who did not survive. The tiger was found inside the enclosure where it lived. It was described as a medium-sized male, and since there were no witnesses, the motivation behind the attack is unknown. After investigation, a suspicion arose that the tiger might have been underfed, potentially driving the hungry animal to lose control and attack its owner, who ironically was there to feed it. The officer in charge of the case, Troy Carlson, stated that 6 years earlier there had been a report of a tiger attack on a child at Buwalda's property, meaning the tiger already had an aggressive history. On that occasion, everything turned out all right, but in the owner's case, sadly, nothing could be done. Dennis Moore, a 62-year-old man from St. Louis, Missouri, was found lifeless on July 10th of 2022 in an alley on San Francisco Avenue, near his home. Authorities suspect he was the victim of a dog attack because his body showed significant trauma. Dennis's wife, Melvina Moore, expressed deep sorrow and shock over what happened, mentioning that the authorities did not allow her to see the body due to the severity of the injuries. The St. Louis Department of Health recommended euthanizing the dogs involved in the attack, stressing the seriousness of the situation and the need to prevent future incidents. This tragic event underscored the importance of responsible pet ownership and implementing safety measures to prevent dog attacks in residential areas. Mark Vogel, a 30-year-old German man, was found lifeless in his apartment in a bizarre scene where he lay covered by spider webs. According to police reports, about 200 spiders and several snakes were on his corpse when they arrived. Passionate about snakes and spiders, Mark kept many legal species in his home, but one day, one of his pet spiders, a black widow, bit him and he lost his life, becoming food for all the animals in the house. Black widow spider venom contains toxins that affect the central nervous system, causing various complications in the human body and, of course, leading to death, as happened to Mark, who unfortunately did not survive and could not get help in time. Aletta Stacy was a woman who loved snakes. Along with her fiancé, the couple had about 75 snakes kept in cages inside their home. Unfortunately, this love ended in tragedy in a case that reverberated worldwide. Aletta was sadly found already lifeless in her bedroom by her fiancé, who initially did not know what had happened. The police were called, and they soon discovered what appeared to be a bite on her arm. Investigating further, they found the lock on the cage of a black mamba open, and the snake was missing. A search began, and the serpent was later found in another room of the house. As you have likely guessed, it was concluded that Aletta Stacy lost her life after being bitten by the black mamba she kept as a pet in her home. The species is one of the most venomous in the world and can kill a human being in mere moments. Friends of the victim and her fiancé remained puzzled as to why Aletta did not call or alert emergency services. One theory suggests she was afraid of losing all the snakes she loved so much. Another possibility is that she thought she could handle the situation herself, but unfortunately did not survive. Of the more than 60 snakes removed from the house, 56 were venomous. On March 18th of 2004, Jabari, a 13-year-old gorilla weighing about 160 kilograms, escaped from his enclosure at the Dallas Zoo in Texas, causing absolute chaos. For about 40 minutes, Jabari injured 4 visitors, including a minor who suffered multiple bites to the head and chest. Authorities evacuated about 300 people from the zoo. After failed attempts to tranquilize him, the police fired at Jabari, resulting in his death. The case was widely reported in newspapers and on TV at the time, sparking huge controversy about the conditions in which the animal lived and was treated at the site. The incident led to investigations into the zoo's safety conditions and resulted in improvements to prevent future escapes. In 2012, Terry Vance Garner, who was 70 years old at the time, was last seen when he left the house to feed the pigs on his rural property along the Oregon coast in the United States. After his disappearance, parts of his body and his dental arch were found by a relative, and the police, already searching for him, were alerted. Considering how strange and unusual the case was, the police did not rule out any possibility, even opening a criminal investigation. However, after some time, it was discovered that Terry's own pigs were responsible for what happened to his body. Ironically, he had gone there to feed them. It is believed Terry suffered some health problem, like a heart attack, while with the pigs and fell there already lifeless. The hungry pigs simply followed their survival instincts and irrationally treated the body as if it were food. The outcome was what we already know. A county prosecutor where the incident occurred stated that one of the pigs had already been aggressive toward the farmer, and in fact, they all seemed to be quite aggressive. Each pig weighed around 300 kilograms, meaning they were huge and needed a lot of food. Charla Nash was the victim of a brutal attack by a chimpanzee named Travis on February 16th of 2009 in Stamford, Connecticut. Travis, a 14-year-old male chimpanzee weighing around 90 kilograms, was kept as a pet by Sandra Harold, who had raised him from infancy. Locally known for his sociable behavior, Travis appeared in TV commercials and participated in public activities. On the day of the incident, Travis ran out of the house carrying Sandra's car keys. Worried, Sandra asked her friend Charla Nash for help in getting the chimp back inside. Upon seeing Charla holding an Elmo doll, one of his favorite toys, Travis became aggressive and attacked her violently, causing severe injuries to her face and hands. Sandra tried to intervene, using a shovel and a knife to stop the animal, but failed. Desperate, she called emergency services, and arriving officers ended up shooting Travis after he tried to enter their vehicle.
Send the police!
What's the problem there?
The chimp killed my friend!
Charla Nash suffered serious mutilations, including the loss of her eyes, nose, lips, and hands. After multiple surgeries, she received a face and hand transplant, though the hand transplant was later rejected. The attack sparked debates over the ownership of primates as pets and led to proposals for stricter legislation on keeping exotic animals in the United States. In October of 2022, a viral video showed a woman attempting to remove her pet python from its cage. Upon opening the lid, the snake attacked, biting her hand and wrapping itself tightly around her arm. A man tried to help her, but the snake held on with a strong grip, causing bleeding and discoloration of the woman's arm as she writhed in pain. The video does not show the outcome. However, some unofficial reports indicate that after much difficulty and the sacrifice of the reptile, the woman was freed and taken to the hospital.
Hi, baby girl. Happy. You gonna come out?
Oh, okay. Need a hand? Should I continue filming?
According to these same rumors, the woman was seriously injured and her arm sustained multiple fractures due to the force with which the snake squeezed the limb. Don't forget to subscribe so you can watch more videos like this.